There is a way a man moves when he knows that destiny bends in his favor. His voice carries no tremble. His step carries no apology. His spirit wears a crown no eye can see, yet every soul can feel. If you stay with me through this journey, you will leave behind the timid man who hesitated and feared. You will become the man who moves with authority, speaks with dominion, and lives with a certainty that bends the future itself. As you listen, you will be trained to starve fear, to build your walk, to command your world, not in some distant dream, but now, with every breath you take. If you dare to listen until the final word, your hesitation will die, your confidence will rise, and you will walk as the man heaven intended when it first breathed life into you. Listen closely. Move swiftly. Your future is already waiting to obey you, but it will not wait forever. Fear does not thrive in the man who remembers the power that sent him forth into this life. Fear requires vacancy. It requires the absence of faith, the retreat of conviction, the silence of a man who has forgotten that he was commissioned by the Creator himself. Fear is not loud in the beginning. It does not need to be. It grows in the places where faith has been allowed to wither. A man does not wake up one morning paralyzed by doubt. He decays by degrees, day after day, by allowing the voice of fear to speak louder than the voice of purpose. Remember this truth as you listen. Fear only lives where faith has starved, and faith starves not from sudden disaster, but from slow daily neglect. You must understand this law if you are to become the man who bends history. Fear cannot coexist with daily declarations of faith. Where faith is spoken, where it is worn like armor, where it is marched into every battle like a banner, fear shrinks, fear flees, fear dies. The world may laugh, the world may mock, but the man who continues to declare the victory of his calling will silence every mocking voice by the sound of his triumph. Look to Henry Ford, who dared to build factories when the world said no man could rival the dominion of the horse. They mocked him. They called him a fool. They said he was chasing illusions. But Ford's faith was louder than the cackling of the timid. His steps did not slow. His vision did not fold. And because he moved while others mocked, they later bowed while he built. Think, too, of Abraham Lincoln. The fires of division burned across his nation. Cowards begged for compromise. The timid advised retreat. Every voice around him, full of caution and fear, whispered of surrender and dissolution. But Lincoln remembered the hand that had placed him at that hour in history. His faith did not require applause. His faith did not require easy roads. His faith only required one thing, that he move in obedience to the higher calling stitched into his soul. And move he did, holding the Union when weaker men folded under lesser storms. Faith preserved him. Faith preserved a nation. You must install this same faith as your foundation. It cannot be an occasional thought, a fragile hope that flickers when winds rise. It must be your daily nourishment. You must feed faith with your words. You must feed faith with your movement. You must feed faith with the deliberate shaping of your spirit every morning you rise. Fear starves in the presence of a man who dares to speak his destiny aloud before he sees it. Fear gasps for breath when a man moves as if his steps are already ordered, as if victory is the only allowable outcome. If you allow fear to narrate even one sentence of your story, it will seek to write the ending. Fear is a parasite. It needs your hesitation to survive. It needs your questioning to grow. It needs your permission to reign. But it cannot reign where faith has already built a throne. When faith is declared as law each morning, when you rise and speak aloud, "I command fear to starve," you rob fear of its only nourishment. You starve it of your attention. You starve it of your obedience. You starve it of your future. You must teach your spirit to act as if the outcome has already been secured by the invisible forces that govern destiny. Because, my friend, it has been. But the seal of victory must be activated by the man who dares to believe it. It will not crash through your door. It will not drag you into glory against your will. It will wait quietly, loyally for you to claim it with the authority that was planted in you at birth. Every man must decide which voice he will obey, the voice of fear that whispers of retreat, caution, and delay, or the voice of faith that commands him to walk where others dare not tread. Your future is listening. Your destiny is bending its ear to the voice you choose to strengthen. Do not permit fear to become the author of your days. Declare your allegiance now and daily. My future obeys my footsteps. Not my doubt, not my delay, not my hesitation, my footsteps, my march, my advance. Even if the crowd laughs, even if your friends call you reckless, even if your mind trembles at the scale of your own dreams, you must decide. Will you fuel fear with your hesitation, or will you starve it with your movement? There is no neutral ground. Every day you are feeding either faith or fear. Every choice, every thought, every word, every step feeds one and starves the other. If you listen to the world, it will advise you to wait. It will counsel you to shrink. It will call your ambition dangerous, your dreams too bold. And if you heed these voices, you will discover too late that safety is the most dangerous prison of all. Safety is where greatness dies. Reasonableness is where destiny decays. You were not called to live in the padded cell of public approval. You were called to build empires with your bare hands and your burning spirit. Each morning you rise, you must declare war on the voice of fear. You must kill it with your confession. You must starve it with your action. You must bury it under the thunder of your certainty. Speak it aloud now and every day after. I command fear to starve. Shout it over your doubts. Shout it over your delays. Shout it until the very marrow of your bones vibrates with belief. Your future is not hesitant. Your future is not apologetic. Your future is aggressive. It moves forward at the pace of your faith. Remember this always. Your footsteps are not just carrying you into tomorrow. They are building tomorrow itself. With every step of obedience to your higher calling, you pave the way for your future. With every decision of boldness, you crush the seeds of fear beneath your heel. With every declaration of faith, you etch your name into the chronicles of those who dared and conquered. Do not let fear rent even a single room in your mind. Evict it with the authority of the man who knows he is sent. Walk as one who knows the King of Destiny himself issued your marching orders. Your future does not await your perfection. It awaits your permission. Your destiny does not demand a perfect man. It demands a decided one. Starve fear daily. Move daily. Speak faith daily. And soon you will not recognize the man you once were. The timid soul will have died of starvation, and the bold architect of your new life will stand in his place, crowned not by the opinions of men, but by the unfolding of divine destiny itself. Every man walks upon a street, but few understand this great truth. The street does not exist until the man moves. It is his courage that lays the pavement. It is his decision that shapes the stones. It is his unshakable belief in the unseen that builds the bridge, even while others stand frozen at the water's edge. Your steps create your street. Your faith pours the concrete. Your refusal to retreat molds the path that others will one day call destiny. The timid wait for the road to appear. The bold understand that it will appear because they dare to walk. When Edwin C. Barnes decided that he would partner with Thomas Edison, he did not wait for invitations. He did not wait for proof. He did not demand guarantees. Barnes understood the secret that most men never grasp. The stones are laid only for those who move without permission. He boarded a freight train with no fortune, no title, no visible credentials, but with one invisible weapon that would conquer worlds: decision. Barnes walked into Edison's office not as a beggar, not as a petitioner, but as a partner. He spoke not with hesitation, but with certainty. He carried himself not according to where he had been, but according to where he was already determined to go. This is the posture you must adopt if you wish to seize the treasures that are hidden from the eyes of the doubtful. Walk as if the bridge has already been built for you. Speak as if your words are the law that the world must obey. Dress, stand, and move as the man who has already arrived. Do not let your circumstances dictate your carriage. Your future is not written by your conditions. It is written by your convictions. Each morning, before you step into the theater of the world, you must rehearse your dominion. Set your posture as a king would, shoulders back, head lifted, eyes burning with the knowledge that you are not asking life for favors. You are collecting what is already assigned to you. Spend time visualizing your victories before you move. See yourself as the man already seated at the table of success. Hear your voice delivering words that shape empires. Feel your hand signing decrees that change destinies. Smell the fragrance of triumph in the air you breathe. This is not fantasy, it is the forging of reality. You must discipline your body to agree with your spirit. Every motion must echo certainty. Every glance must mirror inner dominion. Every word you speak must be baptized in the waters of belief. Never wait for the bridge to be visible before you walk. The bridge appears because you walk. The world responds not to your wishes, but to your conviction. When you walk as one who is already crowned, the world has no choice but to rise to meet your stride. Understand this. Hesitation writes delay into your story. Doubt erects barriers where none exist. Fear fabricates cliffs where only steps of obedience are needed. But decision tears down walls. Decision lays stones across the rivers of resistance. Decision calls forth invisible armies of opportunity. Decision breathes life into futures that others buried under caution. You must kill the thought of Plan B. Barnes had no Plan B. True decision demands the death of all alternatives. There is no second option. There is no escape hatch. There is no safety net woven by fear. There is only forward. The man who moves without a Plan B demands that the stones appear under his feet because retreat is not permitted. The man who keeps his eye fixed only on the target moves mountains without lifting a single shovel because his belief causes the mountains to crumble before him. Do not ask, "Is there a path?" Declare, "My path is already prepared." Do not wonder, "Will the world allow me to pass?" Command, "The world must yield to my stride." Life does not reward the man who knocks timidly. It crowns the man who moves like the gates have already swung open at his approach. Every morning you must program your spirit to remember, "I walk like the bridge was built for me." Say it aloud until the very air around you thickens with your authority. I move because my future is already summoned. Your future is not some uncertain wish drifting in the clouds. It is a roaring summons, calling you forward with the force of divine appointment. Move as if the sound of your name is already echoing in the halls of victory. Visualize your path laid out in gold before you. Visualize the stones setting themselves in place with every step you take. Visualize the applause of heaven itself with every bold move you make. And when the world around you hesitates, when the masses murmur about caution and the dangers of ambition, you will walk through them as a general through the marketplace, unshaken, undistracted, unstoppable. Remember, the stones are cowardly. They will not show themselves to the man who doubts. They will not line up for the man who hesitates, but they will rush to serve the man who moves with the certitude of destiny. Your faith is not merely a feeling. It is the architect of the invisible bridges that carry you to triumph. Your courage is not mere emotion. It is the hammer that breaks the shackles of the unseen into pieces. And so I charge you today, walk before you see, speak before you are answered, build before you are praised, dare before you are permitted, move before you are applauded. The street you seek is being built even now. Every time your foot rises in faith, another stone falls into place. Every time your voice speaks certainty, another gate swings open. Every time you move without apology, the very laws of nature bend to honor your advance. Walk like the stones have already been set. Move like the universe has already been ordered to obey your mission. Speak as one who cannot be denied, and you will find to your eternal satisfaction that the bridge was never missing. It was only waiting for the arrival of the man bold enough to walk without seeing. Every minute that a man hesitates, he extends an invitation to fear. Every second spent doubting robs him of the power that would have built his throne. Doubt is not an innocent guest. It is a thief, a saboteur, a slow poison that leaks into the spirit and weakens the bones of destiny. A man does not lose his future all at once. He bleeds it away drop by drop every time he second-guesses the bold voice that rose up within him. Every time he hesitates when his spirit commands him forward, he feeds fear another hour of life and starves his own promise of breath. When Andrew Carnegie made decisions, he did not labor over them like a frightened apprentice unsure of his place. He acted on the first strong instinct, not the murmuring second thoughts. Carnegie understood the ancient law that the first courageous thought carries the seal of divine authority. He trusted the impulse that spoke in strength, not the cowardly voice that whispered of delay. It was not accident that he rose from the smallness of a bobbin boy to the magnitude of a captain of industry. It was because he moved before doubt had time to erect its barriers. Speed of decision is not recklessness. It is reverence. It is a man honoring the voice of God within him before the noise of the world has a chance to distort it. Every delay weakens the command of the soul. Every delay grants fear an advantage. Fear multiplies with time, but it cannot survive in the environment of immediate, courageous action. Destiny is not reserved for those who think longest. It belongs to those who move first. You must learn to trust your first courageous thought as you would trust a compass in the wilderness. The first surge of boldness that stirs within you is your spirit's declaration that it is ready. Do not betray it with endless analysis. Do not insult it with cautious delay. When a courageous thought flashes into your mind, seize it like a warrior seizes his sword. Move with it before fear can wrap its fingers around your ankles and paralyze your ascent. Hesitation is a form of spiritual disobedience. It says to the infinite, I do not trust the command you have given me. It says to destiny, I would rather be safe than be sovereign. And make no mistake, destiny will not wait at the gate for the man who doubts. It will pass him by, and he will be left to watch others seize the thrones he could have claimed had he moved when the call first came. When the voice of courage stirs in you, honor it immediately. Speak the word, write the plan, shake the hand, launch the work, send the letter, make the move. Do not wait for the applause of others to confirm what your spirit already knows. Do not wait for the guarantees that the fearful demand. Guarantees are the crutches of the small-minded. Destiny is won by those who require no confirmation other than the fire in their own soul. Every time you obey your first courageous thought, you strengthen your spirit. Every time you delay, you weaken it. A man is not built in a day, nor is he broken in a day. He is built or broken one decision at a time. Speed is not the enemy. It is the ally of those who understand that greatness demands momentum, and momentum demands immediate obedience to the call of vision. You must program your very identity around movement, not hesitation. You must say aloud and with conviction, I act before fear finds me. I trust the first fire, not the second fog. I move as commanded by the voice of destiny. I am the man who strikes while others study. I obey the first whisper of courage. My speed is my signature of faith. My boldness is my bond with my future. Delay is dead the moment I decide. Fear is banished by the sound of my first step. I trust the urgency of greatness over the caution of comfort. There will be many around you who will mistake your speed for foolishness. Let them. They are witnesses, not participants, in the drama of destiny. They will stand by the road and murmur about caution while you ride past them toward the gates of victory. Their hesitation will be their prison. Your movement will be your coronation. Understand this. The world respects the man who decides swiftly and moves boldly. It distrusts the man who hesitates and retreats. The world bows not to those who wait for perfect conditions, but to those who make their own weather. The river does not carve the mountain by waiting for permission. It cuts its way forward through force, through motion, through relentless forward pressure. So too must you move, not with the hesitancy of a petitioner, but with the certainty of a king claiming his inheritance. Hesitation is not wisdom. It is the mask of fear. It is fear dressed up in robes of reasonableness, hoping you will not recognize it. Strip it bare. Call it what it is, and banish it from your spirit like a king banishes the traitor from his court. Your life will not be measured by the dreams you conceived, but by the steps you dared to take. Dreams delayed are dreams denied. Therefore I charge you, trust your first courageous thought. Move when your spirit says move. Speak when your spirit says speak. Build when your spirit says build. Strike when your spirit says strike. The future belongs to the fast. The crown belongs to the decisive. The glory belongs to the obedient. Delay nothing, regret nothing, advance everything. Every step you take swiftly in faith will be met by 1,000 invisible forces clearing the way. Every decision made without apology will summon the invisible architects of destiny to begin building your empire before you even arrive at the gates. Move now. Speak now, decide now, because destiny does not delay for the man who hesitates. Destiny bends only for the man who moves, as if the stones were already laid, the gates already open, and the crown already descending upon his brow. It is not enough for a man to think victoriously. He must move victoriously. A man's body is the first proclamation of his destiny. Before the world believes you, your walk must declare it. Before opportunity recognizes you, your voice must announce it. Before doors open, your stride must demand it. The body is not a silent passenger in the journey of success. It is the first herald of the king to come. If the spirit has accepted triumph, the body must carry that acceptance in every movement, every handshake, every glance, every step. You cannot say you believe in your victory while your shoulders slump in defeat. You cannot claim you are destined for greatness while your voice trembles with uncertainty. You cannot pretend you are crowned when your eyes dart about like a beggar seeking permission. The world listens to the body before it listens to the words. The man who moves like a conqueror convinces the world long before he speaks a syllable. John D. Rockefeller understood this principle. He was not a loud man. He did not thump his chest or shout in the streets, but he moved with a serene finality that announced, "I am inevitable." His eyes did not search for approval. They surveyed the field as one who had already claimed it. His handshake was not frantic. It was firm, steady, the grasp of a man whose decisions had already been made within. His posture did not sag under the weight of the unknown. It stood upright, as if bearing the invisible crown that was yet to be seen by others, but already real in his own mind. The body must become the first citizen of the kingdom you are building. It must not betray the spirit by signaling weakness, doubt, or hesitation. Every limb must fall into obedience to the sovereign command of destiny. Your hands must grip with confidence, not apology. Your eyes must meet the world with calm certainty, not nervous evasion. Your voice must carry the cadence of command, not the whimper of seeking approval. Your stride must be purposeful, not tentative, each step declaring, "I know where I'm going and the path will make way for me." This transformation does not occur by accident. It is a daily ritual, a discipline of kings. Each morning, before the world lays its hands upon you, you must lay your hands upon yourself. You must practice the handshake of authority. Grip firmly, look directly, hold steady. Feel the weight of your own promise flow through your arm into the hand you shake, as if transferring the electricity of inevitability to every contact. You must correct your posture. Stand tall, spine straight, shoulders back, not arrogantly, but as one who carries the honor of unseen crowns. When you walk into a room, do not skulk in as a petitioner. Enter as if the room has been waiting for you, as if the air itself adjusts to accommodate your arrival. This is not arrogance. It is reverence for the mission entrusted to you. Your voice must be trained as well. Speak from the diaphragm, not the throat. Let the tone carry the certainty that words alone cannot convey. Practice reading bold declarations aloud each day, not with shouted fury, but with measured, resonant conviction. Your voice must tell the world that you have already decided to win and that you expect reality to obey. Even your eyes must be enlisted into this royal service. Look steadily, not aggressively, but without retreat. When you speak to another, let your eyes affirm your inner certainty. When you contemplate your dreams, let your gaze rest not on the obstacles, but on the throne that awaits you. The eyes are the windows of the Spirit, and the world can read them faster than it can hear your words. Your stride, your movement, your very breathing must obey the vision, not the circumstance. Do not scurry, do not shuffle. Walk deliberately. Each step should say, I have already conquered. Each movement should affirm, the stones roll away before me. Practice walking the halls of your own dwelling as if you were walking the marble corridors of a palace yet unseen. Train your body daily to obey your spirit's decree. Understand this, the world believes the body more than it believes the mouth. You can speak of success, but if your shoulders sag, your voice cracks, your eyes lower, the world will sense the lie. But if you say little, and yet your stride, your handshake, your gaze, your presence declare dominion, then even in silence the world will begin to treat you as royalty. Training the body is not vanity. It is spiritual warfare. It is the preparation of the vessel that will carry greatness. A sloppy posture is not merely physical laziness. It is an insult to the divine commission placed within you. A weak handshake is not mere shyness. It is a betrayal of the authority you were meant to carry. A wavering voice is not simply nerves. It is a leak in the vessel through which faith should be pouring. Therefore, begin at once. Each morning, establish your physical ritual. Before you touch the work of the day, touch the spirit through the body. Practice your handshake before you offer it to the world. Practice your stride before you march into battle. Practice your gaze before you face the doubters. Practice your voice before you declare your destiny aloud. Remember, the body you train today will speak volumes tomorrow. The world may not hear your thoughts, but it will surely see your movements, and it will bow not to the man who simply dreams, but to the man whose very walk demands that doors swing open, that stones roll away, and that mountains lower themselves in reverence. Train your body to agree with your spirit, and your spirit will find its echo in the world around you. Move like a man already crowned, and the crown will find its rightful place upon your brow. The body is your first banner, your first ambassador, your first trumpet sounding the arrival of your destiny. Make sure it sings the song of certainty. The world does not respond to the man who wishes. It responds to the man who walks, speaks, and breathes as if he already holds the deed to his destiny. Wishes are smoke signals. Declarations are foundations. You may desire greatness with all your heart, but if you present yourself as a beggar of fate rather than its commander, the world will mirror your uncertainty back to you. It is not enough to hope for better. It is not enough to quietly long for victory. You must embody it. You must carry it so convincingly that the world, seeing your walk, seeing your gaze, hearing your voice, cannot help but conspire in your favor. Thomas Edison was mocked by many. They laughed at his relentless experiments, at his so-called foolish persistence, at his grandiose declarations of what he would accomplish. Yet Edison did not carry himself as a man defeated by doubt. He moved as though the outcome was already sealed in his favor. His hands, his eyes, his very breath bore witness to a reality invisible to the common man. He was not waiting for the applause of the world to give him permission to succeed. He had already applauded himself inwardly, and thus the world, though slow to awaken, eventually had no choice but to stand and follow. The mirror you hold before the world each day determines the reflection it offers back to you. If you present fear, hesitation, and timidity, the world will reflect obstacles, dismissals, and resistance. If you present certainty, purpose, and royal bearing, the world will reflect opportunity, favor, and submission to your command. It is a law immutable as gravity. You may curse the reflection, but it is merely answering the image you provided. Change the image, and the reflection must obey. Every morning before the world sets its hands upon you, you must set your own face. Stand before the mirror and do not look for the flaws of the past. Look into the eyes of the man who commands his future. Ask yourself not, what do I hope the world will give me today? But rather, what shall I command the world to recognize in me today? It is not arrogance to see yourself as victorious. It is obedience to the vision that was planted within you by a higher hand. A man sent to shape mountains cannot afford to walk like a man begging for bread. Practice the ritual of daily self-appointment. Before the day has a chance to judge you, judge yourself worthy. Before the crowds can voice their opinions, declare your own decree. It is not their applause you seek. It is your own unshakable conviction. That is the only soil from which enduring greatness grows. In every action, let your body and spirit speak first the language of victory. When you extend your hand, let it be the hand of one who commands, not requests. When you speak, let your words bear the weight of decisions already made in faith. When you move through your tasks, let your energy reveal not the desperation of the unworthy, but the calm authority of the anointed. In every motion, let the world feel the vibration of a man whose internal mirror already reflects a crown, even if the world has yet to see it. If you desire respect, walk in a manner worthy of it. If you desire opportunity, show yourself already capable of commanding it. If you seek loyalty, become a man to whom loyalty is a natural response, not a negotiated arrangement. The world is not cruel in its reflections. It is simply obedient. It gives to you the echo of what you display most clearly and consistently. Therefore, guard your image fiercely. Not the image of vanity, but the image of identity. You are not crafting a mask to hide your fear. You are building a vessel through which your inner fire may shine without distortion. Strengthen it daily. Sharpen it continually. Polish it until it no longer reflects the hesitations of your former self, but only the brilliance of the destiny you have chosen to carry. To assist you in this holy ritual of identity, declare to yourself each morning, I am the type of person who walks into a room and commands attention without speaking. I am the type of person who expects favor, not permission. I am the type of person whose movements announce decisions, not doubts. I am the type of person who makes opportunities bow in acknowledgement. I am the type of person whose reflection the world must honor. Repeat these not as mere words, but as soul-engraved declarations. Speak them until your bones know them. Move until your muscles mirror them. Think until your mind paints them over every shadow of hesitation. The mirror you offer the world is built each day, each moment, each step. Let no day pass where you reflect fear when you were sent to reflect faith. Let no encounter occur where you lower your gaze when you were commanded to look ahead with the eyes of a conqueror. Let no opportunity slip by because you dared to wish when you were anointed to declare. Understand this truth. The world is not judging you. It is obeying the image you have chosen to project. If you project strength, it responds with submission. If you project certainty, it responds with opportunity. If you project victory, it responds with coronation. Move today as the man whose reflection bends the world to its knees. Walk today as the man who no longer wishes, but commands. Speak today as the man whose footsteps carve roads into stone. For the world will never give you what you want. It will only mirror what you are. There is a silent power that rules all achievement. It is not wealth. It is not intelligence. It is not even opportunity. It is certainty. Certainty is the invisible magnet that pulls unseen forces into form, that gathers the winds in your favor, that bends circumstance as a blacksmith bends iron. The man who walks in certainty is obeyed by life itself, for he carries within him the quiet authority of one who already knows the end from the beginning. Certainty is not arrogance. It is allegiance to vision. It is loyalty to the invisible commission placed in your heart by forces far wiser and greater than the opinions of men. Consider Henry Ford. When he spoke of his vision for a motor car that every working man could afford, he was laughed at by the so-called wise of his day. They called him a dreamer, a fool, an impractical madman who did not understand the economy, who did not respect the supremacy of the horse, who would surely squander his fortune and fade into obscurity. Yet Ford did not bend to their forecast. He bent the world instead. He assumed success with a spirit so certain that the world, though it kicked and screamed in the beginning, eventually knelt to his vision. He acted daily as though the tides of reality had already turned in his favor. And so they did. You must understand, life does not obey the cautious man. It obeys the certain man. It does not yield to the doubter, the negotiator, or the timid spirit. It yields to the one who dares to declare, "It bends for me." Every morning, before the day unfurls its events, you must plant your flag. You must stand before the coming hours and decree, "Today bends to my favor." You must not whisper it. You must not say it only in the mind. You must speak it aloud with a voice that believes the very rocks beneath your feet will listen. And you must move into the day not seeking confirmation, but commanding its arrival. Certainty is a covenant. It is a secret handshake with destiny. When you walk in certainty, you signal to unseen forces that you are ready for stewardship, for dominion, for multiplication. Doubt is a signal of unreadiness. Doubt tells life you are not yet ready to carry the weight of greatness. Certainty, on the other hand, is a cry of readiness, a torch lifted high into the unseen realm, declaring, "I am here. I am prepared. Send me the work. Send me the wealth. Send me the crown." You must build this certainty not as a temporary enthusiasm, but as a permanent character. It must not live only in your good days. It must breathe even when the skies are dark. Certainty must be your default setting, not your reward for favorable winds. Speak it when the doors open. Speak it louder when they seem closed. Speak it when applause greets you. Speak it even louder when only silence answers. For it is not the applause of the world that makes a king. It is the certainty of the king that eventually summons the applause. When you rise each morning, before you touch the duties of the day, declare aloud, "Today bends to my favor." Speak it into the very walls. Speak it into the floor beneath your feet. Speak it until your own heart believes it before a single eye opens to witness it. When doubts rise like smoke from the fire of yesterday's struggles, answer them not with debate, but with decree. Do not reason with fear. Command it to kneel. Certainty must reach into the very motions of your body. Let your stride lengthen with authority. Let your gaze sharpen with conviction. Let your voice carry the unspoken message, "I am inevitable." Move not as a beggar hoping to be chosen. Move as an heir claiming his inheritance. For indeed, all that you seek has already been assigned to you. It only waits for the rightful hand to arrive and take possession without trembling. The world is not blind. It recognizes certainty. It smells it. It tastes it. It follows it. Even your enemies, those who resist your rise, cannot help but feel the gravitational pull of a man who moves without seeking approval. Resistance crumbles eventually before such force. Circumstances rearrange. Opportunities open. The so-called coincidences multiply, until even the most skeptical must admit that Providence has bowed to your stride. Certainty is a furnace. It burns away the impurities of smallness, of doubt, of distraction. It melts the chains of hesitation. It hardens your will until no discouragement can penetrate. Build it daily. Speak it daily. Move in it hourly. Trust it even when your eyes suggest otherwise, for the eyes often lag behind the spirit. Reality often arrives last, to salute the man who already walked as if he possessed it. Consider the alternative. What has doubt ever given a man? Has it crowned him? Has it multiplied his fortune? Has it made him immortal in the memory of men? Never. Doubt decays. Certainty creates. Choose this day which architect you will serve. Choose certainty, and you will build monuments. Choose doubt, and you will build excuses. Let your mind be a citadel of unshakable belief. Let your words be swords that carve paths through resistance. Let your every motion declare to heaven and earth alike, I assume victory until proven otherwise, and even then I will stand as if victory still belongs to me. Such a spirit cannot be denied. Such a man cannot be ignored. Therefore, let your first thought upon waking be not one of anxiety or guessing, but of command. Plant the flag of your spirit into the soil of the day and proclaim, victory is my default. Today the winds bend to my favor. Today opportunities seek me. Today I act with the authority of one already crowned. And then walk forth, not waiting for the world to confirm your decree, but moving in such a way that the world, seeing you, has no choice but to confirm it. Remember this truth. Certainty is not earned after success. Certainty is the instrument by which success is summoned into sight. It is the voice that calls miracles by name. It is the stride that pulls mountains down to molehills. It is the spirit that bends destiny itself until it fits into your open hand. Speak it now. Move in it now. Build it into your bones. For the world does not reward the hesitant. It crowns the certain. Most men are not defeated by monsters they have never seen. They are defeated by old scripts written in invisible ink, replaying in the back of their minds every time they dare to rise. Fear is rarely original. It is a tired old actor, reciting the same cowardly lines across generations. What if you fail? It whispers. What if they laugh at you? It questions. What if you lose everything? It warns. These are not new attacks. They are ancient weapons, and they only have power because too many have failed to recognize that the script is not truth. It is a trick. To live as a free man, you must kill the fear script at its root. You must tear it up, word by word, thought by thought, until not even the ashes remain. Fear does not need to shout to conquer you. It wins quietly by slipping doubts into your daily thoughts, by weaving hesitation into the fabric of your decision-making, by convincing you that your caution is wisdom when it is actually betrayal. Understand this. If you are hearing the same fearful questions you heard yesterday, last month, or last year, it is because an old script has been allowed to live unchallenged, and until you kill it, it will continue to steal your strength, your time, and your crown. Faith speaks differently. Faith says, what if you conquer? Faith says, what if they applaud your courage? Faith says, what if everything you seek is already in motion, rushing toward the place where you dare to stand? The world was not built by the cautious. It was built by the faithful, those who heard fear's script but rewrote it daily in the ink of audacity. Those who looked into the face of doubt and declared, you are a liar, and I will move anyway. You must recognize the fear script the moment it begins its performance. You must catch it in the act and refuse it the stage of your mind. The first tool in killing the fear script is awareness. You must keep a ledger, a daily journal where you expose every fearful thought to the light. Write it down. Drag it from the shadows into the page. And then you must do what few dare to do. You must strike it down aloud. Speak against it. Answer every fearful whisper with a louder, stronger decree of faith. If fear says, "You will fail," you must say, "I have already won by the fact that I dared." If fear says, "You will lose everything," you must say, "I will gain far more by obeying my calling than by shrinking in safety." This is no small ritual. It is a war. And you must wage it daily until fear forgets your name. Every morning, before the world has a chance to speak its doubts into your ears, you must rise and declare who you are. You must not let fear have the first word. You must command the air, the ground, your own bones to remember your true script, that of a man called to conquer, not to cower. Understand this. Most men rehearse fear without knowing it. They speak the language of defeat casually. They dress in the garments of hesitation unknowingly. They become the very prophets of their own failure by the way they allow fear to script their days. But you, if you would be a man history remembers, you must rehearse triumph, not terror. You must walk each step as though every stone beneath your feet was placed there by providence for your victory march. You must replace the fear script with a new script, one written with the fire of faith. A script that says, "I am the type of person who moves even when the way is unclear." A script that says, "I am the type of person who speaks life even when others predict death." A script that says, "I am the type of person who trusts the voice of vision over the voice of fear." A script that says, "I am the type of person who commands opportunities to open because I walk with the authority of one already crowned." A script that says, "I am the type of person who burns hesitation in the furnace of daily, deliberate action." Every fear thought must be answered, not negotiated with, not reasoned with, answered with the full force of your spirit. You must look fear in the face and treat it as a trespasser on sacred ground. For that is what it is, an invader seeking to steal the harvest planted in you by divine hands. You are the steward of that harvest. You are responsible for guarding it against the rust of hesitation and the rot of doubt. There is no room for spectatorship here. You cannot be passive. You cannot merely hope that fear will leave on its own. Fear must be forced out by daily confrontation. Fear must be evicted by declarations louder than its whispers. Fear must be buried beneath layers of action so thick that it cannot breathe. The man who rewrites his script rewrites his future. The man who journals his fears and then crushes them under the weight of bold declarations becomes invincible. Every day you must take inventory of your thoughts. Every day you must strip fear of its weaponry by exposing its lies and replacing them with truths stronger than steel. Every day you must rehearse who you are, not who fear suggests you might be. Your life is a stage. You are the playwright. Will you allow fear to write your lines, or will you seize the pen and script a destiny worthy of the breath you have been given? Choose wisely, speak boldly, move daily, and never forget, fear survives only where faith starves. But where faith is fed with word and action, fear dies a slow, silent death. Unable to stand against the man who decided he would no longer be its audience, every man who has ever dared to change the world first had to pay a price. And that price was not paid in coin, nor in comfort, nor in the applause of his neighbors. It was paid in the hard, cold currency of risk. Risk is the rent charged by greatness, and no man ascends to rule without first settling that account. You must understand, the dreams planted within you are not free. They demand your boldness. They demand your willingness to stand exposed, to face failure, to walk alone if need be, carrying nothing but your conviction and your command. Look to history, and you will see the evidence written boldly across the lives of every man you admire. Carnegie risked the scorn of an entire industry when he bet his fortune and his name on steel when others said it was madness to build structures taller than trees. Lincoln risked the division of a nation, the scorn of his countrymen, and the collapse of his political future because he believed that unity and freedom mattered more than his personal comfort. Edison risked ridicule with every invention he dared to build, standing in the fire of public laughter, allowing the world to call him a fool while he forged the tools that would shape civilization. These men did not become immortal by accident. They became immortal because they chose to pay the rent that greatness demanded. If you are unwilling to risk, you are unworthy to rule. It is that simple. You cannot have the crown without first bearing the cross. You cannot wear the robes of victory if you are too timid to bleed a little in battle. Risk is not a side dish to destiny. It is the main course. And if you shy away from it, if you flinch, if you tremble when it calls your name, you will find yourself banished to the land of small men, where dreams die stillborn and regrets carve deep scars into the soul. Risk is the gatekeeper that separates the common from the chosen. It is not cruelty, it is clarity. It weeds out the hesitant. It filters out the faint-hearted. Only those who step forward, trembling perhaps but stepping forward nonetheless, are permitted to claim the prize. You must learn to love risk, to see it not as an enemy, but as a sacred ally, a necessary passage through which all greatness must travel. You must make risk your daily companion, not once a year, not when conditions are perfect, every day. You must risk the conversation you are afraid to have. You must risk launching the project you feel unprepared for. You must risk making the move that your lesser self whispers is too soon, too bold, too dangerous. Every leap you resist is a throne you abandon. Every courageous act you postpone is a crown you surrender. Build daily rituals of risk. Each morning ask yourself, what can I dare today that will stretch my spirit? Each evening ask, did I risk enough to grow? This is the rhythm of kings. This is the cadence of conquerors. It is not reckless abandon. It is deliberate audacity. Practice daily until fear no longer dares to speak. Do not wait for certainty. Certainty is the reward, not the requirement. Move while doubts scream. Move while knees shake. Move while the outcome is unclear. For it is movement that clarifies the path, not analysis. Those who wait for the storm to pass before they move are buried beneath its weight. Those who move through it, who laugh at the wind and dare the lightning to strike, find themselves standing on new ground, ground won by the courage of their advance. Risk is not danger, it is dominion. It is the proof that you believe in your assignment more than you believe in your fear. It is the down payment you make on the future you are destined to command. Every great structure built by human hands first required someone to lay the cornerstone in uncertain soil. Every empire began with a man who risked ridicule before he received reverence. Say to yourself daily, risk is not my enemy. Risk is my entryway. Say it aloud until your bones believe it. Say it until the voice of caution sounds ridiculous in your ears. Say it until you no longer feel the tremors of hesitation when destiny calls your name. When fear says you might fail, answer, I might rise beyond all expectation. When fear says you could lose everything, answer, I am willing to lose comfort to gain my crown. When fear says you are not ready, answer, I was ready the moment I was given breath. Understand this. The price will not decrease. The rent will not be discounted. If you would build something worthy of remembrance, you must pay full price in advance with joy. You must welcome the discomfort of risk as proof that you are alive, awake, and advancing. Carnegie did not wait for permission. Lincoln did not wait for consensus. Edison did not wait for acceptance. They moved, and the world bent to their movement. So must you. If you are to leave behind more than bones and fading memories, you must dare what others fear. You must walk where the path is unclear. You must stake your claim not by whisper, but by war cry. Risk is not a season. It is a lifestyle. It is the air the great breathe, the ground they tread, the river they sail toward unseen shores. Those who shrink back into safety will never taste its wine. Those who charge forward with reckless faith will drink deeply from its cup. And so today, decide. Decide that you will no longer bargain with fear. Decide that you will no longer seek guarantees before you move. Decide that you will pay the price of risk gladly, daily, and without apology. For only the man who dares deserves to rule. Only the man who risks reigns. Only the man who understands that greatness demands everything and gives far more in return. A king does not open his gates to every voice that knocks. A general does not reveal his plans to every passerby. A builder does not share his blueprints with those who cannot comprehend the height of his vision. Neither must you. You are not common. You are called to build, to lead, to conquer, and to do so you must build an inner court. Only the loyal may enter. Only the life-givers, not the fear-breathers, may sit at your table. Fear multiplies in the company of doubters. It is not enough for you to fight the battle in your mind and spirit if you then surround yourself with voices that rehearse defeat. A single whisper of fear, unchecked, can infect the mightiest warrior. A single glance of doubt, tolerated, can slow the stride of a king. You must guard your gates like your life depends on it, for indeed it does. Your future will not be built by the hands of the timid, nor will it be sustained by the counsel of the weak. Look to the masters. Carnegie understood this law. He aligned himself with Schwab, a man who did not flinch at the sight of mountains, a man who spoke the language of possibility, not the dialect of doubt. Together they birthed a dominion of steel that reshaped the world, not because Carnegie alone dreamed it, but because he gathered a circle that rehearsed triumph, even when the world rehearsed their obituary. You must do the same. You must build your inner court with the same ruthless loyalty to your calling. Look around you. Who speaks life into your dreams? Who rehearses your greatness? Who calls forth the best in you, even when you stagger, even when you bleed? And who, by contrast, leaks fear into your soil, poisons your ground with their doubt, smiles with their lips, but plants hesitation with their words? You must know the difference, and you must act accordingly. Loyalty is not about friendship. It is about alignment. Those who are loyal to your comfort but disloyal to your calling are enemies in disguise. Those who love the smaller version of you but shrink from your larger destiny must be loved from a distance, for their proximity is a slow death to your promise. Every week, review your circle. Every week, ask yourself without mercy, who around me speaks to my fear and who speaks to my fire? You owe no one access to your spirit. You owe no one the right to rehearse hesitation in your ear. You are the guardian of your gates. You are the architect of your alliances. And you must build that circle with the precision of a man constructing a fortress in enemy territory. Do not explain. Do not apologize. A king does not explain why he fortifies his castle. A general does not apologize for vetting his advisors. You are moving to heights where oxygen is thin, where weak lungs cannot breathe, where trembling hands cannot hold the sword steady. It is not cruelty to select your companions with care. It is wisdom. It is survival. Practice the discipline of pruning. If a voice leaks fear, prune it. If a companion sows doubt, prune it. If an associate rehearses mediocrity, prune it. Not with anger, not with bitterness, with clarity, with certainty, with the quiet, immovable conviction that your destiny is worth more than the comfort of keeping familiar faces who cannot walk where you are called to go. Your inner court must be a sanctuary of life, not a cemetery of fear. It must be a chamber where dreams are spoken aloud without mockery, where visions are declared without apology, where faith is not a visitor but the host. Surround yourself with those who say, "It can be done," even when the storm howls. Surround yourself with those who sharpen your sword, not those who dull your fire. Surround yourself with those who see not only who you are, but who you are destined to become, and speak to that future with honor. Build private rituals with your inner court. Declare victories aloud together before they are seen. Set standards of speech. No rehearsing fear, no glorifying doubt, no entertaining smallness. Train one another to spot the language of defeat and strike it down immediately. Loyalty is not silent agreement, it is active construction of each other's strength. Every kingdom is either built or broken by the quality of its counsel. You cannot afford a weak court. You cannot afford to share your secrets with those who secretly hope you fail. You must walk with kings if you are to become one. You must conspire with giants if you are to build mountains. Anything less is betrayal to the gift planted within you. And let it be clear, it is better to walk alone for a season than to walk with saboteurs for a lifetime. Silence is safer than sabotage. Solitude is holier than subtle betrayal. Do not fear the loneliness that may come when you prune your circle. Fear instead the delayed destiny that comes from polluted proximity. In the quiet seasons when your court is thin and your allies are few, build yourself even more ferociously. Strengthen your own voice until it thunders. Sharpen your own sword until it gleams. In time, those aligned with your destiny will appear, not summoned by your loneliness, but attracted by your loyalty to your calling. You are the king of your castle. You are the gatekeeper of your destiny. Build your inner court with the wisdom of Carnegie, the discernment of Lincoln, the audacity of Edison. Build it as though your life depends on it, for it does. Your alliances must speak your arrival, not your arrest. Your companions must fuel your ascent, not your apology. Your circle must echo your conviction, not your caution. Move forward now with a clear heart. Let no voice that serves fear sit at your table. Let no tongue that celebrates smallness shape your steps. Let no alliance that whispers compromise direct your path. You are called to move mountains. You are called to bend history. Build accordingly. There is a ledger every man keeps, whether he acknowledges it or not. It is the ledger of fear, the silent record of every moment when he bowed instead of building, hesitated instead of hastening, silenced his voice instead of declaring his destiny. It is time to confront it. It is time to rewrite it. You are not called to be the careful keeper of chains. You are called to be the breaker of them. You are not sent here to worship caution. You are sent here to move mountains. Resurrection requires movement before sight. You must move before you see the stone roll away. You must act before the applause. You must rise before the world says you may. Begin this very hour. Take a sheet of paper, and with ruthless honesty, list every fear you obeyed this past year. Write down every hesitation, every silent retreat, every swallowed declaration, every moment where fear dictated your step instead of faith. Do not excuse yourself. Do not soften the blow. Write it as a soldier records his wounds, direct, unflinching, without apology. This is not for shame. This is for clarity. You cannot conquer what you refuse to confront. Every line you write is a link in the chain you are about to break. Next to each fear you obeyed, write what it cost you. Did it cost you an opportunity, a partnership, a fortune, a destiny, a chapter in your history that now remains unwritten because fear held your pen? See the full weight of it. Understand that fear is not an emotion. It is a thief. It robs while you reason. It steals while you sit. It devours while you deliberate. You must see its true face if you are to destroy it forever. When your list is complete, do not tuck it away. Do not file it. Do not keep it as a trophy of what once governed you. Take it outside, hold it to flame, and burn it. Watch it crumble into ash. Watch it die before your eyes. Let it serve as a solemn ceremony, the burial of an old chapter and the birth of a new one. Say aloud as the flames consume it, "This is the death of my fear. I rise from these ashes." But you are not finished. After the ashes, there must be an altar. After the burning, there must be building. On a new sheet of paper, write a new ledger, not of fear, but of fire. Write a list of courageous first steps you will now take. They do not need to be large in the eyes of the world, but they must be large in the battle within you. They must be the steps that once caused you to tremble. They must be the declarations, the actions, the leaps you once postponed. Write them with finality. Write them as a man who knows heaven has already bent to meet his stride. Then act on one today, not tomorrow, not when the sun shines brighter or the winds feel softer. Today. Action starves fear. Movement kills hesitation. Boldness births destiny. You are not waiting for permission. You are not waiting for conditions. You are not waiting for applause. You are the permission. You are the condition. You are the applause. Move accordingly. Understand this great law. Most men are not defeated by war, but by weariness. They do not fall to great storms, but to small, silent leaks of boldness. Smallness erodes greatness silently, like a river carving stone over years. It is not one act of cowardice that destroys a man, but the daily erosion of courage, the slow caving to comfort, the gradual agreement with invisibility. You must reject it with violence. You must oppose it with fire. You must say daily with your steps, your voice, your dreams, I will not be small. I will not shrink. I will not die with my music still in me. Comfort is the enemy of conquest. Safety is the assassin of sovereignty. Fear is the great liar that whispers you are better off invisible. It is not so. You were made to be seen. You were made to be heard. You were made to leave marks that history cannot erase. Practice boldness daily. Speak larger than you feel. Decide faster than you doubt. Dream wilder than you are comfortable with. Set goals that mock your current strength, then stretch to meet them. Make boldness a reflex, not a rarity. Train yourself until risk is the water you swim in and courage is the air you breathe. Move like the man whose footsteps rewrite maps. Move like the general who knows his army is invisible but invincible. Move like the builder who knows the stones will appear as he lays his feet forward. Every morning recommit, every midday reaffirm, every evening review. Build yourself into the fortress the storms cannot breach. Declare now, I have murdered smallness. Say it aloud with the full weight of your spirit. I move as the man history awaits. Feel the earth respond. Feel your breath strengthen. Feel the fear shrink, cowering at the sound of your certainty. Because here is the unchanging law. The world belongs to the man who moves without asking. Reality obeys the man who decides without doubting. History remembers the man who acts as if it were already written and writes it in the ink of relentless faith. You are that man. Move now. Your victory is waiting for no one, least of all the man who waits.